Quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. You know what's supposed to be a reasonable accommodation in a marriage? When your wife asks you to sleep in the guest room because your snoring keeps her awake. It's considerate, practical, shows you care about her sleep quality. Lots of couples sleep separately for various reasons. It's not a big deal, unless the snoring isn't the real reason. Unless she doesn't need you out of the bedroom for better sleep. Unless she needs you out of the bedroom because someone else is planning to be in it. My wife asked me to start sleeping in the guest room 3 months ago. Said my snoring had gotten worse. That she wasn't getting quality sleep. That we'd both rest better in separate rooms. It's not personal, she said. I just need better sleep. You understand, right? I said, of course. I'm a considerate husband. If my snoring was affecting her sleep, I'd move to the guest room. No problem. Except I've never snored in my life. Not according to her. Not according to any previous partner. Not according to the sleep study I had done 2 years ago when I thought I might have sleep apnea. The doctor confirmed. No snoring. No apnea. Perfectly normal sleep breathing. So when my wife suddenly claimed I was snoring so badly she couldn't sleep, I knew something else was going on. I moved to the guest room like she asked. But I also installed a camera there. Small, hidden, motion activated. Not pointed at the bed, pointed at the doorway. Just to see who might be visiting our bedroom while I was conveniently relocated. The camera caught my wife's boyfriend sneaking into our bedroom 3 times a week. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. He'd arrive at 11 p.m. after I'd gone to the guest room. Stay until 5 a.m. before I'd wake up. My wife didn't need me out of the master bedroom because I snored. She needed me out because she'd scheduled a standing arrangement with her affair partner. 3 nights a week. In our bed. While I slept 1 room away, believing I was being a considerate husband. My name is Vincent. I'm 40 years old, and I work as a cybersecurity analyst for a financial services firm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I spend my days monitoring networks, detecting intrusions, identifying security breaches, and recognizing when systems are being accessed by people who shouldn't have access. I understand surveillance, digital footprints, and how to catch people doing things they think are hidden. I never thought I'd need to deploy those skills in my own home to catch my wife's affair. I met Laura 9 years ago at a friend's engagement party in downtown Charlotte. She was working as an event coordinator for a luxury hotel, organized and detail-oriented in ways that matched my systematic thinking. I was the security analyst. She was the planner. We both understood the importance of careful preparation and execution. We got married 7 years ago. Bought a house in the Dilworth neighborhood. A renovated colonial with 4 bedrooms and a finished basement. Lauren continued coordinating high-end events, weddings, corporate functions, galas. I advanced to senior cybersecurity analyst. Combined income around $195,000. We were successful, stable, living comfortably in Charlotte. For 6 years, we share a bedroom. Same king-size bed, same nightly routine, same comfortable intimacy of sleeping beside your spouse every night. Lauren had never once mentioned that I snored. Never complained about sleep quality. Never suggested separate sleeping arrangements. Then 3 months ago, in early December, Lauren brought up the snoring issue. I need to talk to you about something, she said one evening after dinner. What's up? Your snoring has been getting worse. I'm not sleeping well. I wake up multiple times a night because of the noise. I was surprised. I didn't know I snored. It's gotten bad over the past few months. I didn't want to say anything because I know you can't help it. But I'm exhausted. I'm not getting quality sleep. Have I always snored? Not this bad. It's definitely gotten worse recently. Maybe I should see a doctor. Could be sleep apnea or something. Maybe. But in the meantime, I was thinking, would you be willing to sleep in the guest room? Just temporarily, until we figure out what's causing it. I just need to get some decent sleep. I thought about it. The request seemed reasonable. If my snoring was keeping her awake, separate rooms made sense as a temporary solution. Sure, if it helps you sleep better, I'll take the guest room. Thank you. I know it's not ideal, but I'm just so tired. It's fine. We'll figure out the snoring issue, and then I'll move back. That night, I moved my pillows and some clothes to the guest room. Set up in the room across the hall from our master bedroom. The first few nights felt strange. After 6 years of sharing a bed, sleeping alone was an adjustment. But I reminded myself it was temporary, just until we addressed the snoring problem. Except there was no snoring problem. I'd had a sleep study done 2 years earlier. My doctor had ordered it because I've been feeling fatigued, thought I might have sleep apnea. The study came back completely normal. No snoring, no apnea, no breathing irregularities. Just normal, healthy sleep. I'd never snored before that sleep study, and nothing had changed since. No weight gain, no congestion, no new medical issues that would cause sudden snoring. So why was Lauren suddenly claiming I snored so badly she couldn't sleep? The second week of sleeping in the guest room, I started noticing odd things. I'd wake up around 6 a.m., use the bathroom, start getting ready for work. The master bedroom door would be closed. Lauren would emerge around 6:30, looking well-rested and refreshed. "How'd you sleep?" I'd ask. "So much better. I actually got a full night's rest. Thank you for being understanding about this." She seemed happier, more energized in the mornings, which made sense if she was finally getting good sleep. But something felt off. One morning, I woke up around 5:30 a.m., earlier than usual. Needed to use the bathroom. Walked past the master bedroom. The door was slightly ajar. I glanced in. Lauren was asleep in our bed. Alone, as expected. But the bed looked different. More disturbed than it should be for one person sleeping. Both sides of the bed were rumpled. 2 pillows had indentations. I stood there looking at the bed, my security analyst brain processing the information. Why would both sides of the bed be disturbed if Lauren was sleeping alone? I went back to the guest room without using the bathroom, suddenly very awake. Was someone else sleeping in our bed while I was in the guest room? The idea seemed crazy, but I couldn't shake it. The disturbed bed. Lauren's insistence on separate rooms. The sudden snoring complaint that made no medical sense. I spent the next week paying closer attention. I'd wake up at various times during the night. 2 a.m., 3:30 a.m., 4:45 a.m. Walk past the master bedroom. The door was always closed. I couldn't see inside without opening it, which would wake Lauren and defeat the purpose. But I noticed other things. On Wednesday morning, I woke at 5:15 a.m., walked past the master bedroom on my way to the bathroom. Heard a sound from inside. A man's voice. Low, barely audible, but definitely masculine. I froze in the hallway. Listened. Heard it again. Definitely a man's voice, coming from the master bedroom. Then Lauren's voice, also low. A conversation happening at 5:15 a.m. in the bedroom. I wasn't allowed to sleep in anymore. I went back to the guest room, mind racing. There was a man in our bedroom. In our bed. With my wife. While I slept in the guest room, like an obedient husband who believed he snored too loudly. I'm a cybersecurity analyst. I deal with threats, breaches, unauthorized access. And someone had unauthorized access to my bedroom, my bed, my wife. I needed evidence. Proof of what was happening. Not assumptions, not suspicions. Concrete, verifiable evidence. That afternoon, I went to a security equipment store. Bought a small wireless camera with motion detection and night vision. The kind used for home security monitoring. I installed it in the guest room that evening while Lauren was working late. Mounted it on the bookshelf, angled toward the doorway. It had a clear view of the guest room door and, more importantly, the hallway leading to the master bedroom. The camera would record anyone coming or going from the master bedroom. Would timestamp all movement. Would upload footage automatically to cloud storage. I positioned it carefully. Tested the angle. Made sure it would capture faces clearly. Connected it to a dedicated cloud account Lauren didn't know about. Perfect. Now I'd have evidence of who was accessing the master bedroom while I was supposedly sleeping. That night, I went to the guest room at my usual time, 10:30 p.m. Told Lauren good night. Closed the guest room door. Then I opened my laptop. Pulled up the camera's live feed. Watched and waited. At 11:15 p.m., the camera detected movement. A figure appeared in the hallway. Male, approximately 6 feet tall, mid-30s, wearing jeans and a dark jacket. He walked straight to the master bedroom door. Opened it without knocking. Went inside. The door closed behind him. I sat in the guest room, watching my laptop screen, as a stranger entered the bedroom where my wife was waiting. I checked the camera's recording. Got a clear facial capture as he walked down the hallway. I could identify him if needed. I watched the live feed for another hour. No movement. He was in there with Lauren. At 12:30 a.m., I finally went to sleep, leaving the laptop recording. The next morning at 6 a.m., I checked the footage. At 5:10 a.m., the camera had captured movement. The same man, leaving the master bedroom, walking down the hallway toward the stairs. He left the house. 20 minutes later, at 5:30 a.m., Lauren emerged from the bedroom looking refreshed and happy. She'd spent the night with him. In our bed. While I slept in the guest room one door away. I saved the footage. Uploaded backups to multiple cloud accounts. Then I waited to see if this was a one-time thing or a pattern. Monday night. Same routine. I went to the guest room at 10:30 p.m. At 11:20 p.m., the camera caught the same man entering the master bedroom. At 5:15 a.m. Tuesday morning, he left. Wednesday night. Same pattern. 11:15 p.m. arrival. 5:20 a.m. departure. Friday night. 11:10 p.m. arrival. 5:15 a.m. departure. 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like clockwork. Lauren had a standing arrangement. A scheduled affair. 3 nights a week, her boyfriend would arrive after I'd gone to the guest room. Spend the night in our bed. Leave before I woke up. The snoring complaint had been a setup. A way to get me out of the master bedroom without raising suspicion. It's not personal, I just need better sleep. Was actually, I need the bedroom available for my boyfriend 3 nights a week. After 2 weeks of documented footage, I had 12 recorded instances. 12 times this man had entered our bedroom, spent the night with my wife, and left before dawn. I ran his face through facial recognition and social media searches. Found him within an hour. His name was Derek Hutchins. Age 34. Sales manager for a pharmaceutical company. His LinkedIn showed he'd worked with several hotels in Charlotte, including the luxury hotel where Lauren coordinated events. A work connection. Someone she'd met through her job. I dug deeper. Derek's Facebook showed a relationship status. Single. Photos of him at bars, sporting events, weekend trips. No mention of a girlfriend. No photos with Lauren. They'd kept the affair off social media. But the camera footage didn't lie. Derek Hutchins had been in my house, in my bed, with my wife, 3 times a week for at least 2 weeks. Probably much longer. I made copies of everything. All camera footage. Screenshots of Derek's social media profiles. Timestamps and metadata. Organized it all into a comprehensive file. Then I called a divorce attorney. Her name was Margaret Stevens, specialized in high-asset marital cases. My wife asked me to sleep in the guest room because of snoring. I installed a camera in the guest room hallway. It's been recording her boyfriend entering our bedroom 3 times a week for the past 2 weeks. Margaret reviewed the footage I sent. This is very clear evidence. Time-stamped video of the same individual entering your bedroom repeatedly while you're in the house. Were you legally allowed to install this camera? It's in the hallway of my own home. Common area. No expectation of privacy in a hallway. Correct. This footage is admissible. How do you want to proceed? I want to confront her with the evidence. Then file immediately. I'll have papers ready. Once you confront her, we file the next morning. I decided to confront Lauren on a Friday evening. After Derek's Thursday night visit. Before his scheduled Friday visit. Thursday night, I watched on camera as Derek arrived at 11:20 p.m. Watched him enter the master bedroom. Went to sleep knowing he was spending the night with my wife 1 room away. Friday morning at 6 a.m., I watched the footage of Derek leaving at 5:18 a.m. Lauren emerged from the bedroom at 6:30, happy and refreshed. Morning, she said cheerfully. How'd you sleep? Great. You? Best sleep I've had in months. The separate rooms are really working. She had no idea I'd watched Derek leave our bedroom an hour ago. That evening, I came home from work at my normal time. Lauren was in the kitchen making dinner. Hey, dinner's almost ready. How was your day? Interesting. How was yours? Good. Busy. Coordinating a wedding tomorrow, so I'm prepping everything tonight. I pulled out my laptop, set it on the kitchen counter, opened the camera footage file. I need to show you something. What's that? I turned the laptop toward her. Played the footage from Monday night. Derek walking down the hallway. Entering the master bedroom. Timestamp. 11:15 p.m. Lauren's face went white. What is this? Security camera footage. From the guest room hallway. The hallway you walk through to get to our bedroom. I played footage from Wednesday night. Derek entering at 11:20 p.m. This is from Wednesday. Same man. Same routine. I played Thursday night's footage. Derek entering at 11:20 p.m. Leaving Friday morning at 5:18 a.m. This is from last night. Less than 24 hours ago. While I slept in the guest room, Derek Hutchins spent the night in our bed with you. Vincent, I can explain. You asked me to sleep in the guest room because I supposedly snore. I've never snored in my life. I had a sleep study 2 years ago that confirmed I don't snore. But you needed me out of the master bedroom. Not because of noise. Because you'd scheduled standing arrangements with Derek. 3 nights a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He arrives around 11:15 p.m., leaves around 5:15 a.m. I have 2 weeks of footage documenting the pattern. How long have you been recording? 2 weeks. But the affair has been going on longer than that, hasn't it? How long have you been sleeping with Derek? She sat down, crying. For months. For months. And you asked me to move to the guest room when? 3 months ago. So, you had the affair for 1 month, then decided you needed me out of the bedroom to make it easier. You invented the snoring complaint to get me out of the way. It wasn't like that. It's exactly like that. You met Derek through work. Started sleeping with him. Realized you wanted him in our bed. But that was difficult with me actually sleeping there. So you made up a story about snoring and convinced me to move to the guest room. I played more footage. Here's Derek on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, last Monday. 2 weeks of documentation. 3 nights a week, every week. While I slept in the guest room like an obedient husband who believed he snored too loudly. I'm sorry. You had him in our bed, Lauren. The bed we shared for 6 years. You had your boyfriend spend the night there 3 times a week while your husband slept 1 room away. That's not an affair. That's systematic, calculated deception. I pulled out divorce papers Margaret had prepared. I'm filing for divorce. You'll be served officially tomorrow, but I wanted you to have these tonight. Vincent, please. Please what? I have 2 weeks of video footage of Derek Hutchins entering our bedroom while you waited for him. I have timestamps showing he spent 5 to 6 hours in there each visit. I have you on record claiming you needed better sleep when what you really needed was the bedroom available for your boyfriend. We can work through this. Work through what? You've been having Derek over to our house 3 nights a week for 3 months. 90 nights. You've had him in our bed approximately 36 times. You kicked me out of our bedroom to make room for him. There's nothing to work through. Where am I supposed to go? Go to Derek. You've been spending 3 nights a week with him anyway. Make it full time. Derek lives with roommates. Then get a hotel. Get an apartment. But you're not staying in this house. This is my house too. This is the house where you brought your boyfriend into our bedroom 36 times while your husband slept in the guest room. You don't get to claim it as your sanctuary now. She packed a bag. Left around 9 p.m. I sat in the living room, processing everything. Lauren had orchestrated this for 3 months. Asked me to move to the guest room based on a fictional snoring problem. Scheduled Derek to visit 3 times a week. Carried on the affair in our bed while I slept 1 room away, completely unaware. If I hadn't installed the camera, how long would it have continued? 6 months? A year? Until she decided to leave me for Derek? The divorce moved quickly. Lauren tried to argue the camera footage violated her privacy. Margaret shut that down. The camera was installed in a hallway in Mr. Hayes' own home. It captured common areas where no one has a reasonable expectation of privacy. The footage clearly shows Mr. Hutchins entering the master bedroom repeatedly while Mr. Hayes was sleeping in the guest room. We also subpoenaed Lauren's phone records. Found hundreds of texts between her and Derek coordinating his visits. Monday at 11. See you Wednesday. Friday confirmed. The evidence was overwhelming. Lauren also tried to claim the separate sleeping arrangement was mutually agreed to, and therefore the affair wasn't deceptive. Margaret presented the medical records for my sleep study. Mr. Hayes does not snore. Mrs. Hayes fabricated a medical complaint to convince him to vacate the master bedroom. She did this specifically to facilitate overnight visits from her affair partner. This was deliberate deception, not a mutually agreed arrangement. We settled after 7 weeks. I kept the house. I'd paid 80% of the down payment. Lauren got 25% of joint savings. No spousal support. 7 years of marriage ended because my wife asked me to sleep in the guest room claiming I snored, and I put a camera there instead. I heard what happened after. Derek wanted nothing to do with Lauren once the affair became public and cost her the marriage. He'd enjoyed the arrangement, 3 nights a week with no commitment. When Lauren tried to make a real relationship, he backed away. About a year later, I met someone at a cybersecurity conference. Her name was Rachel, data analyst, straightforward, honest. On our 4th date, she asked about my divorce. My ex-wife asked me to sleep in the guest room because she claimed I snored. I never snore before, so I got suspicious. Installed a camera in the guest room hallway. It recorded her boyfriend entering our bedroom 3 times a week. Rachel's eyes widened. She had him coming to your house every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. He'd arrive at 11:15 p.m. after I'd gone to the guest room, stay until 5:15 a.m. before I'd wake up. She'd orchestrated the whole thing, kicked me out of our bedroom based on a fake snoring complaint, so she could have her boyfriend over 3 nights a week. How did you catch them? The camera had motion detection, recorded everyone who walked down the hallway, captured clear footage of him entering our bedroom, timestamps on everything. 2 weeks of documentation showing the exact same pattern 3 times a week. What did she say when you confronted her? Admitted to a 4-month affair. Said she'd only asked me to move to the guest room 3 months ago, which meant she'd had the affair for a month before deciding she needed me out of the bedroom permanently. The snoring story was just a way to get me out of the way without raising suspicion. We've been together 11 months. Rachel has never asked me to sleep in a different room. We share a bed every night. No cameras needed. Just trust. My wife asked me to sleep in the guest room because I snore. I put a camera there instead and recorded her boyfriend entering our bedroom 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11:15 p.m., staying until 5:15 a.m. for 3 months, 36 times, while I slept 1 room away, believing I was being a considerate husband, accommodating her sleep needs. When she didn't need better sleep, she needed the bedroom available. For Derek, 3 nights a week, in our bed, where we'd slept together for 6 years, until she invented a snoring problem that didn't exist, to get me out of the way, so her boyfriend could come over, without interference. She asked me to sleep in the guest room. I put a camera there instead, and caught everything. Every visit, every arrival, every departure, all time-stamped, all documented, all evidence of the affair she thought was hidden, because I was safely sleeping in the guest room, like the considerate husband who believed he snored.